video with kind of a new war strategy that we are going to be implementing. First and foremost, good job on the last war, at least in regards to attacks. We pretty much did everything we could attack-wise with this last war. Essentially, we were just simply outpowered, and that's going to happen more and more as we get higher up into the tiers. And with that being said, we have kind of been planning for a new strategy now, especially with us being in Gold 3. I think what we are going to need to do is just kind of modify our strategy just a little bit. And what we will be doing is we will be going in and we will be clearing out basically the teams that people have in their defense rooms. And, we want essentially everyone to be able to attack at least 8 times with eight, full attacks. And what we are going to do is kind of sort of focused a little bit on defense, but not overly so. Essentially what we are running into is, alliance standards. Everyone should be attacking, at least 5 times, and we are running into some issues where they're not quite 5 attacks. In a perfect world, I would like to see at least 8 attacks from everyone. But, again, you totally understand that stuff does happen, but 5 attacks should not be too bad, especially considering once the war starts, you get 2 immediately, and then while you're in the course of your dailies, you should be able to get in, 3 more attacks at some point. But going forward, what we are going to be looking at for our kind of new defensive strategy is we want to make it a little less easy for our opponents to be able to just fully clear our rooms. And what we've kind of come up with is kind of a little bit of a bait and switch, kind of lulling type thing. So, what we are going to be doing is we are going to be asking everyone to place one very strong team on defense, and we are going to place that on the 8th position. And basically, the idea behind that is going to be that the enemy is going to have to use 7 attacks, whatever they decide to use, and then to actually get rid of the last team and either move to the next level, or in order to actually fully clear a level, they're going to have to use at least a fairly strong attack in order to advance. And so I think that should stop it from, basically us having our rooms getting kind of steamrolled through. So we will place an infographic on the war page just as a reminder. It's going to have, I believe it's either 10 or 12 of kind of the best war defense teams. And ideally, we would like everyone to pick at least one of those teams and place them in the 8th position. If you do not have a full team, feel free to reach out to us and we can certainly strategize and kind of get something going. For myself, really good teams are going to be the Asgardians, the Marauders, a full Merc team with Taskmaster. Other good ones, a Red Skull Hydra team is going to be another strong defense. If you have defenders built up, that's an okay defense. So, the idea behind this is at least they will have to spend one strong attack because what's happening now is essentially all 24 of the enemy alliance. They don't really have to use any strong attacks. And then by the time they get down to our reactor and our bridge, in theory, basically, their full alliance has almost their entire strong roster to attack our top two pointed rooms. And essentially, if we lose both our bridge and our reactor, the chances are is we are probably going to lose the war. So in doing this, in theory, if all 24 of us at least put in one solid defense team, a couple obviously exceptions, but for the most part, it'll add at least 20 strong defensive teams, and that should at least cut down on the enemy's power just a little bit. So myself, I do not have a full Asgardians team, so I'm going to kind of go in with a modified Asgardian Emma team. And, it's only 161k, so I mean, it's not this crazy high defense, but it is at least a bit of something, and it is certainly higher than a 17k shield team. So what I will be doing is essentially now in the next war, my opponent will have to clear all of these rooms, and then surprise, at the end, you have this 161k team. So hopefully this should kind of make it a little bit harder for them to take our bridge and our defensive position, and it should still give everyone at least 5 solid attacks. I know this is cutting down on some of y'all's offensive power, but at this point in the league we're in, we do need a little bit of defensive power. Um, Other secondary options, and this will only apply to certain people, and I am going to use Murph as an example. Murph over here, and this is obviously prior to the strategy, but he has a full Red Skull Hydra team with 26k. And while that might not seem like a lot, if you do have a full Red Skull team, I pretty much guarantee you're not using them for war offense. So even if they're only 20k, whatever, go ahead and put them on defense and put them in the slot 7 position. So, what Murph will be doing after we fully implement the strategy is, he will move the Red Skull team to 7, and then he will put a strong defensive team in spot 8. So what we would like everyone to do is at least have one strong defensive team in the position 8. And if you do have a full Red Skull Hydra team, go ahead and put them in the 7th spot. What we are going to do is, if we do not like the defensive setup that is currently in place, we will remove your defensive setup. And don't worry about picking a room, just claim any open room, and the leadership will move you to the appropriate locations. And again, if you have any questions or you need any assistance in building some defensive teams, go ahead and reach out to your alliance leadership. We will get you situated. But so just to kind of recap, we want everyone putting one strong defensive team in the 8th spot, preferably one of the meta war defense teams. Again, that infographic will be placed on Discord. Secondly, if you do have a Red Skull Hydra team, go ahead and place them in the 7th slot. And then again, like I said, if you have any additional questions about possible defensive teams, please let us know. Like I said, we are going to wipe out all of the defensive areas and then just go ahead and reclaim a room, and we will reorganize people to rooms as we see fit. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to reach out to the leadership. You can always reach out to me specifically on Discord at Khaleesi, or in-game at any of the 3 accounts, Dracarys, Khaleesi, or Mini Call. Um, look forward to seeing what you guys come up with your defensive teams, and hopefully this strategy kind of gives us a little more of an offensive edge going forward. Again, please like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. Hope everyone is having a good week and a safe and happy holiday time. And thank you so much for watching, and look forward to seeing what we do with this.